Thomas Baldrick here at ASCO 2013. Delighted to have with us Mr. Jody Simon. He is the founding member and CEO of the nonprofit organization, the Geriatric Oncology Consortium in Tampa, Florida. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Let's start at the beginning. What is this organization?
The Geriatric Consortium was founded out of an understanding that there's a disparity of care that takes place between what you see in clinical trials and the older adult that in most cases are the people with cancer. In a lot of clinical trials, the median age of a trial may be 55 years of age. You have a performance status of 1. There's no comorbid disease states. These people aren't on 12 medications. Yet the reality lies in the fact that in the real world, it's significantly different. You have older adults who are less vibrant, who are more potentially more frail. They are fraught with other diseases. They have multiple meds that they are on, and they are the ones who have cancer. People 65 and above are the ones representative of better than 60% of all cancers. So, in all the experience that we gain in the clinical trial process, we're missing the mark on the true demographics of these various tumors over in the real world. And it's that disconnect that doesn't give us the information we need to truly treat in the best possible way, realizing the best possible outcomes, those people, again, 65 and above, and those people even older who are the oldest of the old. Because what we've got is a situation that doesn't work the way it should work now, but it's going to get worse, because what we're seeing, and we've been seeing for a long time, and it's going to continue, is what you call the squaring of the pyramid or the graying of America, people getting older, the older populace representing that much more of the population. So if people 65 and above represent better than 60% of all cancers, and that population, that segment of the population grows, it's common sense, and it tells you where we're going to be. And obviously in the situation we're in with healthcare and the economics of the world, it's going to be a tremendous burden. It's already a tremendous burden. It's going to be a much greater burden down the road. Unless we address it now, we deal with it now, and we figure out what we're doing. And we learn how to treat better is what it really boils down to.
What kind of response are you getting within cancer care to your mission and your message?
It's been a slow process. I think sometimes when you try and change the paradigm, or you try and change the thoughts of people and the direction of what they've done for a long time, it's you're not necessarily beating your head against a brick wall, but it's not easy, and we all know that it's not easy to tell people, hey, you haven't really been quite doing it right, and you need to do something a little different. And part of this lies in the hands of the regulatory bodies as well. I mean, at some point in time, the regulatory framework of our healthcare system needs to say, when you're developing a drug, you need to address in the clinical development of that drug those people who truly have the disease that your drug is there to treat. And if not, we're not going to approve you. So and that's not to say that people have said no, we won't do that. But again, it is a matter of people get used to doing things the way they've been doing it for a long period of time. We have just now seen more groups come about looking at geriatrics in cancer treatment. We have seen assessment tools being developed to assess a person who is older, to determine how frail they are, and then judge how they need to be treated off of their ability to withstand things. A lot of those assessment tools are being validated, or they have been validated, and they need to be rolled out. There's another not-for-profit organization that's European-based called SIOG. It's the International Society for Geriatric Oncology. Their emphasis is the same as ours, but only again being across the pond.
Right. I can see this is something that you're passionate about. Obviously, there are personal reasons as well as professional for starting this organization.
Sure, we've all been touched by cancer. My father was diagnosed with myelodysplastic disease, myelodysplastic syndrome, which I was on the board of the MDS Foundation for a while with some key physicians worldwide, and that converted over to AML, and then he passed away in '94 at Moffitt Cancer Center. And what I saw at that point was, again, this not full understanding of how to deal with this particular patient, who was an older patient, in the framework of what was already previously developed clinically. So, it was myself and Ludovico Balducci who sat down at the time and said, there's something that's not quite right. There's a bridge that needs to be gapped. There's a gap that needs to be bridged. And why don't we embark down a path to do that? So that's why we formed the GOC, and we did that in tandem with some very key physicians nationwide and actually some docs from Europe as well.
How can people get more information or become more aware or even involved in this mission of yours?
I think one of the best ways is, you can go to our website, thegoc.org. That's one way. But the other way is to start, making noise at a grassroots level. I mean, to let people know that, when you're sending money to any organization that's involved in the care of a cancer patient, that you're forcing part of their focus or a majority of their focus to be kind of shifted on over to the older adult. And it's got to be, in some instances, it's almost got to be a forced effort. It's going to take people around the country saying, I understand now that we're missing the boat a little bit, and I'm soon going to be in that category of 65 and above, and if I develop a cancer, I want to know that I'm getting the best possible care, that you know how to deal with me, and you know how to deal with all the subtle nuances of the older adult. Absorption is different, distribution, metabolism, excretion, dealing with all the drugs that may be on board, and coronary artery disease or cardiovascular disease that I may have alongside of my cancer. As an adult in this community of Earth, you need to be saying, pharmaceutical manufacturers, the healthcare system, government, we want you to start looking at this, addressing it, and not kind of putting it off to the side, waiting till later, because later is going to be a lot worse than it is currently.
Jody, somewhere up there, I'm sure your father is pretty proud, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck on your mission.
Thank you very much.
Okay.